we are coming into the home stretch, folks. We've got a
Yes,
couple
yes.
weeks left for who will take home the crown of most recalls in 2024. And Stellantis is trying their best at Stellantis now coming in hot with 317,000 Ram trucks getting recalled. What's going on here?
Well, just a brake issue. You can't stop if you can't slow the son of a gun down. Just some minor brake issues that if it's an affected vehicle, 100% of them are affected. So yeah, you'll be spending some quality time at your local Ram dealer, drinking some really pretty crappy coffee from their waiting lounge as you're waiting for that brake recall to get handled.
And here you go, folks. We have the
Yes.
latest update as a
Yes.
result of this recall from FCA, Fiat Chrysler. We now have Chrysler in the lead, 64
my.
recalls, pulling away from Ford
Yes.
Motor Company with 62 recalls. Really a hell of a lead now being developed here
It is
from
with
Chrysler.
only 21 days left. Now, the question is, can Stellantis and Chrysler organization, can they pull defeat from the jaws of victory? Can they? We shall see. It depends on whether or not they're playing prevent defense the last
Exactly.
3 weeks of the year. And my guess is they probably will. They're probably going to rest on their laurels at the moment. And you never know, that could give Ford the time to catch up and surpass them. But wouldn't it be something for Ford to give up their crown that they've had for the last 3 years running?
You already know that a lot of big news breaks on like weekends, holidays, things like that, because they want to try and not have it get picked up by media. You already know that week of Christmas to New Year's is about to be so many recalls because no one's going to pick it up. So there, we got it. We're going to keep our finger on the pulse here. Dissatisfied Subaru customer smashes through dealership's front door.
Yes.
All righty. Yeah. So, that ever happened to you?
Well, I have confronted some angry customers at some points in my career. I never came across one who threatened to drive his vehicle into the showroom and then kind of meant it and did it.
The story here, to be clear, is a customer bought a used Subaru, wasn't from a Subaru dealership, but bought a used Subaru as is. And we can spend some time actually educating folks on this. Bought the used vehicle as is, which I'm making an emphasis on. But pretty much every time you buy a used vehicle, you're buying it as is. There's nothing nefarious here or special. Customer then realized there were mechanical issues with the vehicle after purchasing it and demanded that the dealership take it back. The dealership said no. The customer then threatened to drive the vehicle into the dealership, and the customer obviously drove the vehicle into the dealership.
He followed through.
You got to give him some credit. I'm not giving him credit there for following through. This is obviously incredibly dangerous, immature, scary. And when you buy a used vehicle, there is a reason. When you go on CarEdge and you use our car buying guides, we tell you for a used vehicle to get a pre-purchase inspection. Because unless you're buying from Carvana or CarMax, these dealer groups that have, they don't allow you, to be clear, let's be very clear, they don't allow you to do pre-purchase inspections, and they give you the option to return the vehicle. Great. If you're not buying from one of those dealerships that allows you the option to return the vehicle, you have to get a pre-purchase inspection because you are typically purchasing a used vehicle as is. Can you help everyone understand, Dad, what does as is mean in this context, and why is that pre-purchase inspection so critically important?
Well, as is means exactly that. You are buying it in the condition it sits at the moment. If you buy it, you own every flaw, every mechanical issue, everything. And you have no recourse against the dealer because you have agreed that you were buying it in its current condition, warts and all. Thus, the importance of a pre-purchase inspection so you can find out what it is you're actually buying. Now, according to the story in Automotive News, the gentleman had a limited budget. okay, of $4,000. This was a vehicle that they found a wholesaler that had agreed to buy it from them for $4,000. They decided, well, we'll help this customer out. I find that hard to believe, but that's besides the point. That's it. And they said, we'll sell it to him for $4,000, and allegedly explaining to him that it has issues. Apparently, either he didn't understand that it had issues, or they didn't do a particularly good job of explaining that it had issues. And they thought they were doing him a favor by allowing him to purchase a $4,000 vehicle that God knows how much it was going to need in mechanical repairs to make it roadworthy. But as is the condition in which it sits, and the dealership has no responsibility to do anything about any of the issues that it might have. So that is as close to buyer beware when it comes to buying a car as I can possibly think of.
And again, folks, this is for used vehicles. You just have to do it. You have to do it. You need to convince yourself that spending $150 is worth it in the long run. And obviously, we don't condone people driving cars into buildings. Does make for great content. I want to be very clear. I was tagged about, I don't know, 100 different times on various platforms. People saying, have you seen this video? Have you seen this? Of course I saw the video. It was absolutely insane. And it could have been easily avoided. Pre-purchase inspection.
This is why social media exists, so that people can share stuff like this. If social media didn't exist, would this guy have done that? I don't know. But I've seen angry customers. It's difficult when people get emotional to calm them down and talk about what resolutions there could possibly be. But the one thing I do know is that is a time for dealership staff to be as empathetic as they possibly can be, as opposed to in many cases where they will go, hey, you knew you bought it as is.
Yeah. Well, also remember we had the SWAT team captain story from earlier in the week. So anyway, there's all sorts of, when emotions get in play, folks, things can get a little crazy. I know that from personal experience. Never drove a car into a building, but emotions are difficult, and obviously that's something that was at play here. And with the garage door opener story from the poor SWAT team captain who had his wife, got divorced from his wife. So these things happen.